Warning: this video contains super awesome content not suitable for people who don't enjoy super awesomeness. Viewer discretion advised.
Alright guys, welcome back to another video. Thank you guys for watching my channel. It's your boy Richie Nottingham here, and I've got a special guest, Nick, here.
Hey.
So today guys, we will just be talking randomly. But what happened recently was Will Smith's slap. The slap of a century.
Yeah, it's gonna be the most talked about thing on a lot of media for the next couple weeks. What was your opinion on that? What did you think about that slap?
I think it was like a wonderful slap. I mean, it was just a full-on just wha-bam.
The execution of the open-handed smack was, I think, quite excellent. I think the execution ended up being, it was a great slap. Now, how about the reasoning behind it? Not the slap itself, not the technical the technical slap, but
the technical slap was amazing, but the reason behind it was kind of pitiful. I mean, Will Smith, he's a great guy, but he just didn't think through on that one. It was kind of weird. I mean, what's his name that got slapped?
Chris Rock.
Chris Rock. He's an also pretty good guy, and they're also pretty good actors. And honestly, I think the whole thing was just so stupid. Like, he shouldn't even have joked about Jada, and Will Smith shouldn't have even gone up on stage.
No. And I did read something today from the producer of the Oscars, or one of the producers, that the joke about Jada was unplanned. So Chris Rock went a little bit off script there, but I don't think it gives Will Smith any right to commit battery. And it also, if Chris Rock wanted to press charges, it wouldn't stand up in any sort of court.
Right.
Verbal altercations are not an excuse for a physical altercation.
Yeah. But I would give props to Chris Rock as well for taking that slap like a man.
Oh yeah, and he didn't
awesome.
back down. He just he kept it going. He kept the show moving on. Props to him for doing that. That was pretty impressive.
That was. Anything else about that, or have we completely gone through that?
I think we knocked through that pretty fast.
Yeah. So I actually recently got like 12-inch subs, and they're actually right underneath the camera that you guys are watching from. And I was wondering, how do you like them so far, Nick?
When you were showing me around the subs and like playing those songs, I was genuinely impressed. I also was very surprised you couldn't really hear it from outside the house. I thought that was gonna be quite loud, but truth be told, I don't know if it's your walls or if the speakers are just not as loud as I thought they were, but I thought they were almost too loud when you first started playing them, but they're a lot of fun. You can have a lot of fun with those.
Yeah. And when I played them for you, I never got past 75%.
No, I don't even think you did 50. You were telling me that
I did 50.
Yeah, but you're telling me like you don't like going past 50. I think
at least when my dad's around.
Yeah.
He hates it.
But that was some insane like sound and beat. Genuinely impressive, and especially that it wasn't the full capacity. I don't know if I really want to hear full capacity, because that was already a lot of bass and a lot of
full capacity could make your heart stop.
That's exciting.
Yeah. I've put on my ear protection and put it up to 100%, and I could like feel it. You know, like when you go by a car who's got that bass really loud and you can feel it in your chest?
Yes.
That's how it feels with my bass speakers.
And especially with it being right in the same vicinity as you.
Yeah.
I don't think it would be dangerous, at least not for a short period of time.
Yeah, but for a long period it's very dangerous.
It's almost like being like front row at a concert.
Yeah.
It's genuinely something, it's pretty crazy.
Yeah. Except the middle and the treble are cut out. It's just all bass.
Wow.
All about that bass. No treble. Yeah. They were pretty awesome.
To a song. I haven't even thought about that song in a while.
Yeah. It's a pretty good song.
That was popular back when we were in, what, middle school?
Yeah, when we were pretty young.
I know, well, and considering the fact that, like, you know,
Back when I was 7 years old.
That's another one that's pretty old.
Yeah.
I think that song came out like 7 years ago right now.
Yeah.
Like, so 7 years come out 7 years ago. I still feel like that song is relatively new, but then as time goes on, I'm starting to really kind of realize that things move on so fast, so quickly.
They do.
I'm gonna be a junior in college next year, and I really, that's almost scares me. Like, it's pretty insane going from when COVID hit. I haven't even finished my sophomore year in high school, and yet here I am, gen ed done, high school's finishing up this year, and gonna move on to some actual like interning next year, adult stuff.
Yeah, a lot of adult stuff are going on right now. Yeah, it's so crazy because I'm like a couple months away from turning 20.
Mm-hmm.
Like 20, like that's a big number.
That's a big number.
Yeah.
I know it happens to everybody, so it's not like I take some comfort in knowing that I'm not the only one going through it, but there's something, I don't know, it's both sad and yet both so exciting hitting like this next stage of life, but I don't know if you can ever really truly prepare for it.
Yeah. Honestly, I've just been going with the flow of life.
It's all you can do, right? It's like there's nothing, almost everything in life is going to be out of your control. You can, one thing that I talk about, one of my favorite quotes of all time is that you cannot control what happens around you. You can only control your reaction to it. And that reaction in and of itself is the most vital part of enjoying life or hating life, I think. Because everybody gets knocked down, but you can either take it in stride or you can let it keep you down.
Yeah.
You got to find a way to bounce back regardless of what happens through a lot of sadness.
Glass half full, glass half empty.
Exactly. Well, and like for me, your dad and I were talking about it earlier, but my grandfather passed away just a few weeks ago. And so my whole family went up to Maine and we all got together, and while it was a sad occasion, we took it as an opportunity to celebrate his life and try to think about what he would want. He would have turned 75, I believe, March 25th. And so while it was hard to watch my mom go through that, I went over to for dinner, and we got cheesecake because my grandfather was an avid cheesecake fanatic. I don't know if that's genetic, but I am also an avid cheesecake fanatic. I love my cheesecake.
Yeah, cheesecake's amazing.
It's so good. But we got a really big Costco cheesecake, but I think we still have some in the fridge because it's a big cheesecake.
Yeah.
But we just sat and enjoyed that and watched some Star Trek and just remembered my grandpa. And while the hurt is still pretty fresh, wallowing in sadness is never the answer. It's always embrace it while it's there, because it's important to feel it, but don't let it keep you down.
Yeah.
Find a way to enjoy the memory. Find a way to enjoy life as it's happening.
Yeah, that's tough. Reminds me of my friend Nate, who passed away as well. He was my age, and he was gunned down because he was going down a dark path. But just remembering all the fun memories we had together was amazing.
Yeah, I still carry the Cholula hot sauce because I remember him carrying it around school, and that's what got me into he is who got me into my love of hot sauce. And so I still, at my house, will all times have a bottle of Cholula hot sauce because I love it, and he's the one that got me started on it. He would pack the biggest bottle he could find in his lunchbox, and he'd go around asking people, "Hey, you want some Cholula? Want some Cholula?" And everyone's like, "We want some Cholula." And so that's a way that he has impacted my life so far. And same thing with fishing. Him and Richie got me into fishing, and I only ever really went with them. But even now, I love doing it. I love getting out on the water. It's so calm and so peaceful, and it's just incredibly enjoyable.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
Richie and Nate were the two people that really got me into it.
Yeah, I still have a few jigs that Nate made and gave to me. And I have lost a couple of them, but I know exactly where they are, and they've never gone missing. I used to live at a lake around a corner. I'm not going to describe the location, but basically that corner I used to fish all the time, and I used a couple of his jigs there, and I've lost a few of them. And before I moved, I dove like that area. You're not supposed to, but I did it anyways because that's me. But I was able to find the jigs, but they were so stuck I couldn't take them out. But at least I know they're still there, and it just reminds me every time of the great times that I've had with Nate fishing and everything. It was wonderful.
Yeah. Loss is such a hard thing to experience, especially when it's somebody so young and it's so sudden. But remembering the impact that they had on our lives is so important, because it reminds you that they were loved and that they were cared for. And he was a beloved individual of our community. He was known by so many people and loved by so many. And it's a shame that it happened how it did. But
Yeah.
it puts a lot of things into perspective, especially somebody that was our age. It made it difficult because it really does show that life is so fragile and so things can turn rapidly.
Yeah. But the thing is, you don't have to worry, at least for us Christians, if you believe there is life after death. Our souls will go to heaven, and we'll be able to be with Jesus and all the angels, and Jesus will create a new world and a new earth, probably similar to this earth, but much better and without sin. So you don't have to worry. We'll see him again. We'll see everyone again.
We definitely will. It helps not worrying about what comes next. That provides a whole nother level of comfort, especially in a world that is so rapidly changing, so rapidly evolving, so rapidly moving around, and nothing is ever the same as it was. To have that level of comfort and knowing that there is a steady at the end of the road helps to make the day-to-day life a lot more bearable.
Yeah. I was once told by a wise old man that the 100 years, if you get to live that long, is what you get to prove to God how you will live for infinity of time. See, God will say, hey, if you live these 100 years perfectly and abide by my rules, which is basically just the 10 Commandments, but it does get more complex than that. But let's just say you follow the 10 Commandments and you live a good Christian life. Those 100 years would then continue past 200 years, 1,000 to infinity. But if you choose to be sinful and lustful and, pretty much just sinful and not Christ-like, you won't go to heaven and live eternity in freedom and basically be in heaven. You'll be sent to hell with Satan. Us people with souls, we are actually not made to go to hell. Hell was made for Satan and his angels that followed him. But since we sin, God also put that burden on us if we sin. But we can also repent, get rid of our sin, And even though we repent and say, hey, we're not going to sin again, we will still sin because that's part of our nature. But as long as we keep repenting and keep believing in Jesus, we will go to heaven. Yeah. But I'm going to take a 5-minute break and we'll be right back.
All right.
What's going on, guys? This is a like the video checkpoint. So go ahead and like the video. Also subscribe. Hit that bell notification so that you guys can get notified when I upload. Anyways, back to the video. All right, guys, we are back.
Yes, sir.
We are gonna be talking about other things now. But yeah, I've actually been watching Markiplier recently, and he also recently started doing FNAF stuff, and I've been watching his old FNAF videos, and those videos are just so funny. I love the way he gets scared.
Yeah, like especially watching some of those old ones is just so nostalgic because you actually are the one that introduced me to Markiplier in the first place. And I remember watching him here at your dad's old house and eating our pancakes and bacon for breakfast, and just like you trying to figure out where the curse words came in, and then you would mute it and then put the volume back up. That way we were like, I think in 3rd or 4th grade, and we were just trying not to get in trouble, and it was so much fun. Like some of my best memories of like being a quote unquote troublemaker come with you, because you and I have always been some of the good kids. We didn't really get in trouble at school. I know, but like whenever we got together, it's like our collective brain cells just hit a number of 0. Like I still remember at one point your dad had moved. It wasn't the first house, but it was like the second one. It was in the same living. It was like what, 2 doors down, something like that. When he bought the other apartment.
Yeah.
And I think you and I made a flamethrower inside.
Oh yeah. I got like a spray can of deodorant or WD-40, something similar to that, and
something with aerosol in it. Yeah.
Yeah, and a lighter, and when you light it and then do the thing, it would, and you'd make a flamethrower with it.
But like we actually built something where all we had to do was press a trigger and they both went down and it like shot stuff out, and it was so much fun. I don't know how we engineered that in one night, but we did it. It was and we were again like in middle school at that point, so neither of us had any training with anything engineer-wise. But you get 2 guys together and you put your minds to something, and then you get something stupid and dangerous. But that's part of the fun.
Hey, 2 stupid rednecks making stupid things come out with stupid results.
They're so much fun. Or when your dad still worked with Florida Fish and Wildlife, and you and I were helping him set up for the open house, and you took off this giant chunk of skin on your thumb with a machete. And then, and again, you're over here. I had taken a first aid course, just a week prior, but I was still in 7th grade. I didn't really know what I was doing. But you call me over and you're like, "Hey, Nick, I need you to come here." And I walk over, not expecting anything, right? You're just like, "Hey, look at this animal, or look at this cool plant." No, I come over and I just see blood dripping down from your hand. And then you just go, "I missed the handle." And I was just so confused, but we got the gauze pads, got it together. Somehow you didn't need stitches. I don't know if you did or not, but I don't think you ended up getting them.
I didn't.
Yeah, okay. Well, who needs stitches, right?
Yeah.
I did the same thing with a knife in my cooking class. I don't remember what I was making. I think it was an apple pie. That's what it was. I was making an apple pie in my cooking class, and I'm slicing the apples. I'm going fast. I'm doing it pretty well. And then the knife wasn't sharpened enough, bounced off the apple, and then decided to cut my finger open, pretty much just open. Again, I also didn't get stitches. I really should have. I have a big scar on my finger now, but
oof.
It is what it is. I mean, it's kind of faded, but it's just, I guess, lessons that you live and learn.
Yeah, I remember that story about the thumb. I was holding a stick like this.
That's what it was. I remember this
and
now.
I had a machete. I was trying to split it in half, but I missed and hit my thumb, and it split my thumb basically in 2.
It was
But it's back to normal.
we had
I don't have any
fascinating
scars.
adventures when we were younger.
Yeah.
What happened?
Do
to
you
this-
remember when we went fishing and you fell in?
I do remember. And there was like a 12-foot alligator, like not even like 20 feet away. I looked down, I'm going fishing. I take a step to actually launch the fishing pole, right? Kind of like you're supposed to. Except I didn't realize how close I was to the edge. I missed the ledge and I went tumbling down into this really cold water. I mean, it's Florida and it's like December, which is probably not cold for a lot of people, but it's cold for us, especially that water. And
Yeah.
it's just, I hear like this, almost like this growling weird sound. And I just look over and there's this big gator just staring daggers at me. And I'm just like, I got frozen. Richie's dad came over, pulled me out of the water. And then he looked at the gator and he goes, "We're going to find somewhere else to fish." And I was like, I like that plan. I'm cold, I'm freezing, I'm soaking wet, but we get back in the car and drive somewhere else to go fishing. And
Yeah.
just camping with you and your dad too.
Yeah.
When it's like I'm worried about the mosquitoes, and I was assured by both you and your father, oh, there's a mosquito netting around. We're not going to get any mosquitoes. And that was a lie.
That was a lie.
was
And then
a
we
lie.
drove to the
The office building.
office buildings and we set up our cots there and slept the night.
Yeah, because like, and you and I are sleeping like on two sleeping bags next to each other, and we're both just like, this sucks. We're getting eaten
We're just
alive. Like the faint slapping sounds in the middle of the night, and then Richie's dad at some point. We don't have a clock, so I'm assuming it was around 1 o'clock in the morning or something. Just wakes up. Are you guys getting eaten by mosquitoes? We have been for hours. Why didn't you say anything? Let's go. And so we spend the next 30 minutes packing up everything in the pitch black. There's no outlets anywhere. We're using our phone flashlights and little lanterns. And we are just trying to get everything together and pack it all up and move to the office. I think this was the same trip that we had where you split your thumb open with the machete.
I think it was.
I think it was the same camping trip. That was a fascinating weekend. That was the same weekend. It's all happened in like a very similar time frame. But we were on the back of a buggy, driving somewhere, and our legs were hanging over the edge. And then I looked down, and there's a rattlesnake poking its head up between my legs as we're going over it. And like at that point, my legs instantly come back up, and he goes, well, "Would you look at that?" And this guy's so unfazed when it comes to outdoor things. At this point, I think he'd be the guy that would just go grab the snake and be like, "Look at this!" as it's thrashing around all venomously, and he'd be like, "Look at this little cute bugger." He'd be like an American Steve Irwin.
Yeah. I'm the redneck Steve Irwin.
Pretty much.
Yeah, but spiders, that's it for me.
That's really that's where you draw the line.
Yep.
Not gators, not snakes.
Nope.
Not gigantic or not nothing. Just
Spiders.
that's fine. But a little spider comes along and you just run it for the hills.
Yep.
That's fascinating.
I mean, like for a big crocodile or something, I'll be like, I'll stay my distance, but they're more afraid of you than we are afraid of them. So
I think the same
Stand your
thing can be
ground.
said for spiders. They're more afraid of you than you're of them. Burton, they're not Richie. He's more afraid of them.
yeah, I have arachnophobia.
Which is totally fair. At this point, if it really came down to it, I think I could take a spider. Did you get cold?
What?
The sudden shift.
Oh no, I'm just shifting so that the microphone picks up my voice.
Got it. That makes sense.
Yeah. So what have you been doing recently?
For me, it's been mostly school and work. I'm graduating from high school this May, but I've been taking all exclusively college classes the last 2 years. So I will go into college being a junior, which is amazing.
Nice.
And so I also got the full ride scholarship that Florida offers. So I will not be paying for college at all, which is like a miracle in and of itself. I am blessed to have gotten that opportunity, and it's also I've put a lot of hard work towards it.
Yeah, that is pretty nice.
Same
Hair
thing.
kinda sucks.
So does mine. It's fine. So same thing with Publix. I've been there just over a year now. Actually, it's been a year and almost 3 months now. Really, time does really go by so fast.
It does.
But yeah, it's been about a year and 3 months. But I've been a customer service staff for almost a full year because they promoted me within 4 months of being there.
Nice.
They loved me, and I still sometimes question their logic behind that, but I do a good job, and they all love me there, and I'm very, very happy to be where I'm at. How about you?
Yeah, I've been doing online classes for high school, and I'm almost finished. I did all my end of course exams, but I still don't know if I've passed my English and writing exam for my end of course. So
When do
if
you
I
get the results for
that,
those?
I get those results sometime this month, maybe.
Okay, almost.
So if I pass that, then I don't need any more exams to finish high school. You know.
Hey, there
And I
you
can get my
go.
diploma.
There you go.
Yeah, and then after I'm done with that, I'm gonna go to a technical college and do mechanical studies as a mechanical guy.
That is cool.
Cars.
I will know who to call for my car then.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I've actually been doing a English assignment about should the driving age to get your permit be lifted up to age 16 or 17.
Okay, so then you wouldn't get your license till 17 or 18?
Yeah.
What do you think on that?
I was kind of more towards it
Okay.
because it makes teenagers more active, going out on bicycles or walking to school, stuff like that. And it also makes it safer because you don't have those racer kids that, get their licenses and just race nonstop, defy all the laws. You don't want to have that kind of mindset. And basically, it also gives you more time to prepare for driving. See, I'm 19 and I only have my permit. I don't even have my license yet, and I'm actually against getting my license. And I actually haven't driven fully yet. I drive around my neighborhood, but other than that, I haven't gone on any roads. And honestly, it is kind of scary, but for some kids, it's kind of like fun, but it's very, very dangerous. You can die by using a car.
Oh, absolutely. Like, being in a car is one of the most dangerous things you can do as a person. And a lot of the kids really don't have any safety awareness at all. On that note, do you have an opinion on if there is an age where you should be retested for your license?
Yes.
Because
I do believe
me
that
and my
too.
family were eating out at a pizza restaurant just last week, and we watched this older gentleman really struggle to get out of his car, and almost like he didn't really know where he was going. And then he did whatever business he had in the shoe shop next door, struggled to walk back, struggled to get in the car, and then just drive off. And like, he looked like he had some vision issues, some balance issues, and all of us are thinking, like, should that man really be driving a car? But there comes a point where it's like, you don't, unless you have some big medical emergency, you don't get retested. You don't lose the license.
Yeah.
Like, for the last 10 years of his life, my grandfather wasn't allowed to drive, but that's because he had a stroke that impaired his balance and vision. And so the doctors decided it was for the best for him to lose his license. And all of us kind of felt the same way. We're like, yeah, it's probably for the best, but there are just some people that have struggles with balance or vision that don't get tested, and they're just driving and they're just going for it every day.
Yeah. I would say for a retest, the age should be at age 45.
Really, that young?
Yeah, because some people
Okay.
don't make it to age 50.
That's
So
true.
Age 45, I think, is like the perfect. It's basically halfway there because the length of a life usually goes from age 0 to 80.
Mm-hmm.
That's the rough estimate. Some people live longer, some people live shorter.
Yeah, that's
So
about the
45
average
is kind of
lifespan.
right around the middle.
Mm-hmm.
And I'd say that's the perfect point for a retest for a driver's license.
I think I was thinking closer to 60 or 65 because that's really when a lot of people start losing some of their faculties. Like at 45, typically, like, yeah, some things start to go, like your vision gets a little bit worse, but it's usually never on that scale of you should lose your license. But maybe getting retested wouldn't be a bad idea.
Yeah, getting retested should be a good idea. Maybe just as a refresher.
Yeah, that would also be good too. Like a refresher of the road
I was
rules.
actually thinking having like 2
Okay.
refreshers.
Yeah.
And whereas the first one, you will not lose your license if you fail, and you can continue using your license. It's just a
I
refresher.
think if you fail a driving test, you shouldn't be able to drive. I don't think, even if you've had the license, I think if you fail a driving test, then I think that should be either you have to pass it before you get it back.
Yeah, or that, yeah.
I don't think just be like, oh, you failed? That's fine. We'll give you your license anyway. I think that might be a little bit of a mistake.
Okay, yeah, maybe I was being too irrational.
It's just, I think you're like, you hit the tree? That's fine. We'll let you keep it.
Oh, you hit a
missed this-
motorcyclist? No, that's okay.
No!
Yeah, I was... Yeah, never mind about that. I didn't say anything.
Don't forget your helmet.
Oh, boy.
Oh, boy.
But yeah, I've been playing guitar as well. I recently broke this guitar string, the high E string.
Well,
it was
did you
actually for a
replace
stupid
it?
reason. Because my guitar has these locking nuts at the very top. You guys can't see it, but basically they lock the string at the top of the neck, and then at the bridge here, they also lock as well, so the strings are tight and they lock. But there's tuners above the locking nut, and if you tighten that, it will snap the string from the nut to the tuner and basically snap it. And that's what I did. I was being stupid, because what you have to do is you have to loosen the nut, and then I was just being stupid.
Well, that wasn't very smart.
Yeah. And plus they were old rusty strings. that need to get
Okay, yeah,
replaced
you gotta
anyways.
replace those anyways.
Yeah. But I mean, I really love this guitar because it just sounds amazing, but now it doesn't because I broke a string.
You just gotta get it replaced. It shouldn't be that hard.
Yeah. It's just $15 strings.
That's not bad.
Yeah.
Then again, I really don't know much about guitars. I don't play.
It is actually pretty bad when you have $0.
That, you know, that's true.
That is true.
That is very true. If you got $0, you gotta pay 15. It's a little rough.
I have $0 in my bank account, but I have over $10,000 in items. I have money in physical form, but not in cash.
Well,
or-
I mean, yeah, we're recording on these nice mics. You got your
Yeah.
quadruple monitor setup. You got the nice Sony. Is that a DLR?
that's a Sony DSLR.
DSLR. Okay. Yeah, the beautiful
Sony
camera with this
A7 III.
great camera quality.
Yeah, that's what we're filming on right now.
Your new subwoofers, your
Yeah.
new speaker set, your nice guitar. You got a lot going on for you.
Yeah, I do. Yeah, but now I'm gonna stop spending so much, and I'm gonna pay off the loan for my camera, and do like 50-50. 50% goes to the loan, 50% goes to savings.
There you go.
And then when I turn 21, I'm gonna use some of the savings that I've gotten to obviously get a gun and get a concealed carry permit, because I don't feel safe without one. I'm a very, very Republican dude. America. But yeah, stuff.
A lot of stuff.
Yeah. Well, anything else you want to talk about?
I think that might be it for me. I don't get anything else in my brain.
Yeah. Our brains are pretty fried right now. Well, I guess this is where we end it.
All right.
Thanks for watching, guys. Hope you guys like and subscribe. Till next time. Peace.
Peace.